What's up, everybody? Some gamer gremlin here with another episode of Reacting to Gorl World, and I already started trying to film this already, and fucking solicitors knocked on the door. Like they were, like it was like the police were outside my door. I fucking hate solicitors. I hate solicitors as much as I hate this bitch, and she's fucking evil. Yeah. I fucking said it. She is as bad as scammers and solicitors, and she's reacting to Salty Crab's, like, thingy-majig. So let's just get into this. I am already annoyed.
Okay, guys, so I actually just got out of the shower.
No, you didn't! Quit lying!
And I wasn't gonna do this. This was not gonna be something that I was gonna do. And now that I have, like, a whole YouTube schedule.
Bitch, you have been frothing and seething at the mouth because people keep calling you out on your bullshit. All your tea is getting spilled, and you're not taking any accountability. And every time someone goes, hey, she did this horrible thing to me, your thing is, well, but fuck off!
Well, I don't know where this would fit in my schedule. And I want to
You don't have a schedule because you are a fucking lazy fat piece of shit.
get this out like now. So I don't normally do
I need to get this out now. I have to speak my piece. Bitch, you never shut up about your piece.
reactions to reaction channels, but I feel like I'm done like zipping my lip, you know?
You never shut up!
And when it comes to this topic, it's near and dear to me, obviously. I had cancer.
If it was near and dear to you, you would be skinnier than I am right now. That is a fact. If you actually gave a shit about the fact that you almost died because of your fucking weight, you would be skinnier than I am. And I am not even at 200 pounds. So go fuck right off with that.
It was traumatizing. I genuinely thought I was
If it was traumatizing, you'd be skinnier than I am right now.
gonna die. I had to do invasive surgery at over 500 pounds.
Invasive surgery that they told you needed to lose weight, and you gained weight right before the surgery, and then you gained weight after the surgery. Fuck off.
Because of my cancer. So for another YouTuber to create a nickname, Raglan Bleed,
The fact that you don't get the joke, or people have explained the joke to you, but you are so fucking dead set that you are the victim in every situation. You refuse to acknowledge that you were a lazy piece of shit who bled all over the fucking place and expected other people to pick it up. Go fuck right off with that.
well, already they're hypocritical, they're biased. I have made it very clear.
You are the biased hypocrite. I'm not going to say it again. I'm going to try not to say it again, but I will probably say it again, and I am sorry for that.
Clear on my Instagram that is fucked up. I've also made it very
You're fucked up.
clear during public live streams and during my members only live streams. And this
Dude, at least I don't look like a 2-ton whale.
YouTuber just keeps going back and forth with me, trying to like
I know that was uncalled for, but it felt good.
twist the narrative of why they,
Dude, you were the one that's trying to twist the goddamn fucking narrative.
named me Raglan Bleed when it's very obvious why they did it, and they're trying so hard to like turn it into like an okay nickname. So my friend sent me
It's a better nickname than Amber Lynn.
this message that you are seeing here, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna react to this first 5 minutes because I want to know.
I think she is watching my videos because I was the one that was like, everybody else knows how to put fucking pictures into videos, and now she's doing it, so I think she is reacting to me. And if you are in my audience right now, Amber Lynn Reed, go fuck yourself.
What they say, so let's do it. I want to be able to respond. By the way, this YouTuber does not show their face.
Bitch, you shouldn't be showing your face. You should do a public service and get off the internet and just wear a bag over your head at all times.
Because they're too scared. So all you need to hear is their voice. Let's do it.
Hey y'all, welcome back
Hey, at least she's got a nicer voice than you.
to my channel. Happy Thursday. And before we get started today,
I didn't think clean eating could ever be this delicious.
So good.
And it's hilarious that it's a factor commercial, considering we already know for a fact she's off Weight Watchers. We already know for a fact she's probably not even doing the Factor stuff because she just binged it all anyway. Yeah. It's kind of funny.
With Factor, I get nutritious meals that I already...
I just want to talk a little bit about what happened last night, or should I say very early this morning. If you missed it, Amber Lynn went live for about an hour and a half.
Went live totally spurred out with a fucking narcissistic meltdown.
And it was pretty much just...
Not as bad as the members only one, which kind of made me sad because I ain't paying her $10 to watch that boring ass bullshit.
A part 2 to the members only stream she did, because it was almost exactly the same thing. She was, in my opinion, very manic. She was crying.
Okay, so mental health shaming?
That's not mental health shaming. That's actually just stating an objective fact. Go fuck yourself.
1 second laughing, the next second acting very just above it all, while
I'm telling you, my moods genuinely are bouncing back and forth. Like, 1 minute I am crying, 1 minute I'm laughing, 1 minute I'm doing both at the same time. 1 minute I feel despair, 1 minute I feel hopeful. It is what it is.
So you have a bipolar emotional thingy-majiggy going on. Okay, fine. Slay Queen.
That's where I'm currently at right now with my mental health.
still having to get digs in on people. Most of the things that she said was just her repeating what she said in the member stream. In my opinion,
A lot of people don't get to see, so I'm glad that I had that public live stream for people, because some people can't pay for my members only.
No, most people just don't want to pay for your members only. And is it just me, or is her skin really blotchy in this? What? Let's try this. Yeah, shit's blotchy as hell.
I felt like she was doing that. She did the stream because she kind of wanted to get the attention off of Beck and Destiny's video from...
Definitely not. Beck and Destiny's video genuinely sucked. Like, okay.
Okay, so he's at 10K views, and that was 3 hours ago. She's only at 19K. Let's see. How many views is that Beck and Destiny video at? Let's see. And we'll also check the ratio, too. 173 views. 173K views. K. There's 1,000 in there. 2 days ago, and
did y'all get upset?
13K likes versus your not even 1,000, and this was 10 hours ago. Okay, yeah, it totally sucked.
Hey, screenshots from 9 years ago.
Screenshots from 9 years ago that showed the entire context of the conversations that they were depicting versus your little screenshots that you held up to the camera like a fucking idiot, and you had shit scratched out. You only wanted everybody to see one message out of an entire conversation because you knew if you showed the entire fucking conversation, everybody would have been like, you're a psychotic bitch.
I'm sorry I was hurt. I'm sorry I was desperate for attention.
Yeah, because you got cheated on because you're a terrible person and you deserved it.
Earlier yesterday, she wanted to make everybody talk about her and what happened in the live stream.
So listeners should totally knock on my door while I'm doing this more often.
But honestly, like I said, it was just a repeat of the other night. Nothing really...
And yet you watched it, didn't you?
Yeah. Because you put it out there. And she reports on you. It's part of her job.
New came out of the stream, and I don't think I'm gonna cover it because as I was watching,
you just don't want people pointing out all of your inconsistencies and calling you out on your bullshit.
Watching it, nothing really stood out to me. She was mostly just reading the nice comments people were leaving.
I think I know why they're actually talking about this. Because in that live stream, I straight up asked Salty Crab a question, and I think they might be answering it right now. So I'm actually glad that I'm reacting to this, so let's hear the answer.
She was ranting.
Whatever.
About everybody who she doesn't like, crying over like, girl, we saw it all before, and it was more entertaining in the member stream. But I do want to address one thing, and like I said before, I'm not going to do a back and forth with Amber Lynn.
But yet you are.
No, she's not. She is reporting on the bullshit that you're talking about.
There's really no point to it. There's nothing.
But yet you are.
She's answering your question. She's actually being a kind human being and giving you the time of day.
Yeah, I can say to her that's going to make her just all of a sudden be like, oh my gosh, you're right. I apologize.
Because you're not.
Because you sit on your high fucking horse, which that horse can barely hold you, let's be honest, and you refuse to see any point of view other than, I'm the victim! I'm the victim!
Hold on.
Her just all of a sudden be like, oh my gosh, you're right. I apologize to anyone.
Honey buns, why would I apologize to you?
Because you're a terrible fucking human being and you tried to get a copyright strike on her channel because you know that can take her channel down because you're jealous that she gets more views than you. Let's look at her Salty Crab's views. Let's see. 72K views, and she posted that yesterday. She has more views on that than she has subscribers. You have 245K subscribers and only 19K views on this. It's slowly going up. I'll give her that.
Like, there's nothing to apologize to you for.
There is plenty that you could apologize to humanity for.
She's gonna think she's right about everything until the end of...
I'm not right about everything.
And that look tells me you think you are right about everything, so go fuck yourself.
Everything. At all.
Time. Even the things that she admits she did wrong, she has a reason for or an excuse. And it's usually blaming some...
I bet you're not perfect.
Ambie-poopy. Nobody's fucking perfect, and you are so far from perfect, you can't even see it.
At all. I bet you made your fair share of mistakes, so...
That's called growing up.
It's like these people...
Something you have yet to do.
People who want to, like, point their finger and be like, you're not perfect. Well, bro, you have several fingers pointed back at you.
She's watching Jordy's live streams. She's watching Jordy's live streams.
Because neither are you.
Someone else or her BPD, but she did.
Oh, do you hear the mocking of her BPD?
You don't have fucking BPD. You have NPD. You also have psychopathy. You also have Machiavellianism. You are a perfect example of a dark triad personality. So, yeah, go fuck yourself.
More mental health shaming. Like, when does it end?
Ask me.
When you stop blaming everything on BPD, that's when it fucking ends. When you actually grow the fuck up and take accountability for your life, that's when it fucking ends. When you actually take your mental health and your physical health fucking seriously, that's when it fucking ends. But you're never gonna fucking do that. You're never gonna lose the weight. I bet you anything, my goal for over the next 4 years is to find me a husband and have a kid. That is my goal. Your goal right now is to just stay alive. And you know what? It is more likely that I will accomplish my goal than it is that you will accomplish your goal. I will be very surprised if you live long enough to see the end of Trump's second presidency. That's how little faith I have in you.
Personally, to tell her why in my video from almost a week ago, Amber, like, you're still going on about it, but...
And you still go on about things that happened years and years ago just because you need something.
No, we just like to point out your bullshit and point out the fact that you have not changed at all. When you first came onto YouTube, yeah, you looked a little like... innocent, and everybody was just like, all right, let's cheer this one on. But as the years have gone on, and with Beck and Destiny coming out with all of this juicy gossips, which is just the truth, and we're all crazy people who have first world problems, so watching you is our version of watching the Maury show now. It just paints a clear picture that even from your first video on YouTube, you haven't fucking changed.
Something to talk about because your whole channel is monetized based on talking about me. So yeah.
And she could start reading the dictionary and I'd still listen to her because I like her voice.
Yeah, I am gonna.
It's actually kind of nice to listen to Salty Crab while I'm reading right before bed. Same with Omegon.
I'm gonna talk about something that happened a week ago that genuinely hurt my feelings, and my jaw was on the floor because I was like,
could you stop with the... My jaw was on the floor. What are you, a fucking cartoon?
Making a joke out of my cancer is not okay.
She's not making a joke out of your cancer. You had precancerous cells. It wasn't actual cancer. And instead of just monitoring them to see if they went away, they got rid of your entire uterus to get rid of the cells so they didn't develop into cancer and spread throughout your body and kill you.
She wanted me to talk about or tell her why I called that character Raglan Bleed. Why did I use the word bleed? First of all,
because you free bled all over the fucking place like a giant. Redcap was the fake creature that has the hat that they cover in blood, and they're very aggressive. Oh my god, she's a fucking Redcap.
well, it was a stupid joke.
At least we don't have to be afraid of her.
It's not a stupid joke. So if you say something that offends someone and it genuinely hurts their feelings, you apologize, right?
Something that you would know nothing about.
Isn't that what you're trying to teach your audience, supposedly?
Okay, I'm just gonna point out that the solicitor that, like, knocked on my door during the first attempt was fucking Brightspeed. Which I'm... Actually, no, undo that. All right. I'm looking something up, I promise. Stop. Oh my god! Celtic mythology. Okay. That's what I wanted. Okay. Ah! I figured out what Amberlyn is! This is her spirit creature. The redcap, or Powrie, is a type of malevolent murderous goblin found in folklore of the Anglo-Scottish border region. The redcap is said to inhabit ruined castles along the Anglo-Scottish border, especially those that were the scenes of tyranny or wicked deeds, and is known for soaking his cap in the blood of his victims. He is also known as a redcomb and bloody cap. That is what Amberlyn Reed is. Yes. Okay, back to this.
Do it then. Or do you have too much ego? Too much pride? Afraid your audience...
Bitch, you don't deserve any apologies, and you deserve all the bad shit that's happening to you right now, so go fuck yourself.
is gonna get mad at you.
It was a silly joke. I wanted a word that
Not a silly joke.
Lady, you don't even understand jokes.
rhymed with your last name, so I used the word.
There's a lot of words that rhyme with read. I mean, I can think of one right now. Feed.
I can think of another. Greed.
That'd be a lot more funnier than bleed.
Yeah, but bleed fits better, along with greed, you greedy son of a bitch.
Bleed, but Also, the joke was not about your cancer.
Yes, it was.
You think it was, but it wasn't. It was about the fact that you free bled all over the goddamn place and you were too fucking lazy to clean it up yourself because you knew other people would. You are a really, really terrible person.
Much as you try and say that it was, what it was really about was your laziness. The fact that you made the choice to not seek medical treatment when you
That whole surprise of, she just called me lazy. That was the sign of, that was the look of someone who understands that she is a lazy, fat tub of lard. And that is an insult to lard. And I love lard. Dude, have you ever had a pie crust made with lard instead of butter? It is fucking delicious. Flaky as all hell and delicious.
you knew that you should.
So, first of all, one of the very first things that I did when I was diagnosed with cancer, because I was told to do this, was join forums of other people who have the same cancer as me. And in doing that, I realized we all had one thing in common. 95% of us waited and waited and waited. We had these symptoms and we
You're just too lazy to go and get them checked out. Like, go to an actual gynecologist.
just waited months, or some of us waited years. Some people waited.
I thought I had a freaking yeast infection once, and you know where I went? The gynecologist. I didn't go to the ER. I went to the gynecologist, and I was like, hey, I think I have a yeast infection. They checked me out. They're like, no, you don't have a yeast infection. Do this and you're fine.
Even longer than me to see a gynecologist. And there is multiple reasons for that. Fear, embarrassment, feeling ashamed, anxiety. Some of us then begin to believe like, okay, maybe actually these symptoms are normal, or actually it's really not that big of a deal. I did go to the doctor. I actually went to the ER a few times.
But you didn't go to a gynecologist that specializes in the female reproduction system. What? How is that so hard for you to figure out that is what we are calling you out on? That is what we're calling you out on, not the fact. Like, yeah, you're just a lazy piece of shit.
And every single time I went, they told me I had all this blood and I had the pain in my back, and it was due to a UTI, or it was due to a bladder infection and all of these things, but that wasn't the case.
You're just going to the ER. They're not going to sit there and do in-depth testing to figure out what the hell is wrong with you. They're going to look at the surface level of it and go, okay, this is what we think it is. They have other things in there that they are trying to work on. I mean, if I'm an ER doctor, I'm going to be more worried about the guy who's bleeding out because he accidentally stabbed himself in the aorta versus the chick who's just bleeding from her pussy.
Should I have gone to a gynecologist sooner? Sure. Does that make me lazy? Fuck no.
You are lazy.
Does that make anyone else who has also had uterine cancer and they waited a really long
We're not talking about anybody else who's had uterine cancer or precancerous cells in their uterus. We're talking about you. You were the one that was too lazy to go and do it.
time to be seen until they were diagnosed? Does that make them lazy? No.
Nobody's talking about them. We're talking about you. Get that through your fat fucking skull.
Do they deserve to have a nickname like that? No.
But you do. And honestly, if you want to take it as we're making fun of your fucking cancer, you know what? Go right the fuck ahead, because I have no sympathy for you anymore. I might have had just a little bit of sympathy in my naive notion that maybe one day you'll prove everybody wrong. You'll get skinny. You'll become a good person, and you will get that redemption arc. But you know what? I don't think you're ever going to get that redemption arc, because you don't give a shit.
Because you knew that, oh well, someone else will just come and clean up this mess for me.
Clean up this mess?
And when I say that you expected everyone to clean things up around you, you know exactly what I mean.
If you're talking about my blood, I made sure that that was
bullshit.
Nowhere. There was blood nowhere. Did you guys ever remember that mattress that was out in the living room?
The mattress that you made Beck move around because you were too fucking lazy to move it around yourself. Which, if you had been moving that around yourself, you might have lost some fucking weight before that surgery.
That was one of the reasons it was in the living room, because I was scared to get blood anywhere. I never got it anywhere. If I
Lies.
wasn't wearing a pad, I was wearing a rag. I was very anal about that because it was embarrassing. Like, I was always bleeding. Sometimes it was heavier than other times, but it was genuinely an awful experience and it was very embarrassing. I never made Beck do it. Who else was there? Oh, are you speaking about my roommates? Because I had roommates? Hell no, that is so embarrassing. That was 2 guys. Like, are you joking? I handled all of that by myself. Just because
Nobody believes you.
I was having all these symptoms, it didn't make me a selfish or disrespectful person. I wasn't gonna sit there and make a mess. Like, what? The fact that you're even insinuating that is hectic. And that's
Will you stop saying that fucking word?
for a lack of a better word.
Yeah, because you don't know the word ridiculous.
You're the one who said you had to use rags instead of using feminine products. But who washed those rags, Amber? Who
Me.
Bullshit.
What?
changed those rags, Amp?
Me?
Bullshit. I bet you had Beck change them for you.
What is happening? So
People are calling you out on your bullshit. That's what fucking happening.
you called me Raglan Bleed because you're assuming that Beck washed my rags. I genuinely think this person needs
Change those rags, Amp.
Me? What is happening? So you called me Raglan Bleed because you're
Rags, Amber.
me.
You're the one who said you had to use rags instead of using feminine products. But who washed those rags, Amber? Who
Me. What?
changed those rags, Amp?
Me? What is happening? So you called me Raglan Bleed because you're assuming that Beck washed my rags. I genuinely think
Please tell me I'm not the only person that caught that, because Salty didn't actually say Beck washed the rags. She said that she is assuming that Beck washed the rags. I'm gonna take that as a Freudian slip. And she just admitted that Beck didn't just wash her shit rags, she washed her blood rags. Oh yeah, and then in Mr. Snowflake's reaction, he actually caught the fact that she took notes and was reading them because she can't come up with jokes on the fly.
this person needs help.
So if you guys want to think that I took notes because I pre-watched this, go for it. I don't care. Leave it in the leave in the comments which notes you think I took. Well, which jokes you think I took notes for.
More help than me. Like, I admit I need help, but so do you. What?
Lady, you need more help than anybody on the goddamn planet. You can't even take care of yourself. That is how pathetic you are.
What?
Amber, who probably had to scrub those rags out in the
No one scrubbed a rag in a sink because of my cancer symptoms. That
Yeah, but you're not denying that people had to scrub rags in a sink because of your shitting.
never happened.
sink, Amber. Bet it wasn't you, and you were just fine with
It was nobody.
them having to do it. Day
Wait, so you just threw them in the trash?
after day.
It was nobody.
Bella!
Ah!
Where the hell have you been, Loca?
God, it's the fucking
I,
movie where everybody
brought you
acts like
something.
they have fucking constipation.
It's a little crazy.
Week after week, month after month, year after year. You intentionally did not go to the doctor.
I didn't intentionally not go to the doctor.
You were too lazy to go to the fucking doctor, so wipe that smug look off your face, you stupid fat cow.
For that, when other times you would go to the ER for cellulitis.
Yes, because cellulitis is an infection that if it gets in your blood, you can die.
Precancerous cells, if they transform into cancer, they can spread throughout your body and you can die.
So yeah, I did go to the ER for that. So I can be on antibiotics because that's the only way that cellulitis can go away.
Which you would think, with her being so fat and cellulitis looking like it is probably really fucking painful, she'd take more like, what's the word? She would care more about her health. No. She'd rather order her takeout, eat her chip, her salty dill pickle chip, or spicy dill pickle chips.
So I'm sorry.
Or the time that you needed stitches in your hand.
Yes, I literally still have that scar. But yes, I needed.
Lady, my right ring finger, the tip of it is numb because I decided to play with a fan and I cut myself, and I probably should have gone to the doctor for stitches, but I didn't have health insurance, so I just wrapped up my finger. If you're willing to go to the fucking ER for stabbing your hand when you could have just wrapped it up, you could have actually just taken your fat ass over to the fucking gynecologist. But no, you were too fucking lazy.
Did stitches. I'm sorry. I stabbed myself in the hand with a knife.
This wasn't a case where you had a fear of the doctor.
This is genuinely like you invalidating my experience, but
they're not invalidating your experience. It happened to you. Nobody is saying that it didn't happen to you. We're just pointing out the fact that you're a dumbass.
you know what? I don't expect anything less, anything more from you.
And no problem.
You're so much of a dumbass that I would not be surprised if Red Foreman right now kicked down your door and shoved his boot up your ass.
I was going to the ER, but in this situation, you decided to ignore it. You even admitted that you took an online quiz to see what was wrong rather than seeing a doctor. And even then, when the quiz told you what was probably wrong, it still took you another month before you went to the doctor.
Yeah, out of fear. And I also
I don't know, like if tomorrow I suddenly started just bleeding out my vag and it just didn't stop, I would just go to the doctor. I can't afford it right now, but I would go to the doctor and I would ask my family for help with affording it because I do believe that they would rather help me out with a few medical bills and me be fine than me going, well, I can't afford it, so I'm just not going to do it. But that's my personal experience. But I also come from a family of women who are at a higher risk for uterine cancer and breast cancer and fucking cervical cancer, and they probably have an ovary cancer. Like, all of the lady cancers I am at a higher risk for.
I kept lying to myself because my whole life, like even in high school, I had irregular periods. Doctors always told
Bitch, I still have irregular periods, so go fuck yourself.
me it was because of my weight. Like when you're
with you, I think it is because of your weight.
Really overweight and when you're really underweight, your periods are very irregular. So I did keep lying to myself. I was like, this is happening because of your weight.
Then why didn't you start actually taking your weight loss seriously at that point? Because you didn't do that. You didn't get off your ass and go to the doctor. Like, how are we supposed to feel any sympathy for you when you just didn't care?
So the more I lied to myself, the more I made it seem like, oh, it's just because of my weight. So it still doesn't give you the right to make fun of the situation.
It's not making fun of a situation for pointing out that you're just a lazy bitch.
And when you did finally go to the doctor, you took pictures of your underwear and the crotch of your pants.
I did. Actually, it was Beck who took those pictures. We were absolutely shocked with
And that's fucking disgusting.
how much blood I was losing. Like, I was losing so much blood, and that was only the beginning of it, like the pictures that we did take, because then it got worse and worse. At that point, I was having to be rushed into an emergency DNC. I was losing so much blood that like I could have died. But yes,
And it wouldn't have happened to a more deserving person.
Beck had their phone and they were taking pictures because it was genuinely so shocking. And I remember Beck was texting my mom and like keeping my mom updated. And during that, Beck sent those photos to my mom because it's like when you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, Amberlynn is like gushing blood. You know, you imagine something, but you don't imagine like how bad it actually.
If I was in that situation and my significant other, I wouldn't even ask my significant other to take pictures of my bloody underwear and send it to my dad. I would just be like, yeah, don't send my dad a picture like that. Because alright, so my grandma died in her 60s due to complications with diabetes. And my mom took me to all of her dialysis stuff. She kept taking me with her. And one of my last memories of my grandmother is her puking into a fucking tiny little like kidney, like one of those kidney bowl things. And that is one of the last memories I have of that grandmother. And I fucking hate it. It's the main reason why when my dad's mom got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, I was like, no, I don't want to talk to her on the phone. My last conversation with my grandmother on my father's side, she remembered that I worked at Taco Bell at that time. She remembered my name, and she had like she was lucid in that conversation. And I am so happy that my father, like, he took in my wishes on that into account, because I told him I did not want one of my last memories of that grandmother to be of her not recognizing me. I didn't want that. My last memories of my great grandma, she recognized me. I was young enough, I didn't even understand that she had Alzheimer's as well. But my last memories of her, she was lucid, she remembered me, and it was fine. But my grandmother on my mother's side, I have that memory of her puking, and it's one of my last memories of her, and it sucks. And the fact that you had Beck take pictures of your bloody fucking underwear to send to your mother, and you could have died then, and that would have been one of the last memories that your mother had of you, was a picture of your fucking bloody underwear, and you did that? You are a terrible fucking person.
Actually was.
And the floor and all the blood.
Sorry I went into the weeds there for a second, but that just rubbed me the wrong fucking way.
Blood everywhere, and you put them on Snapchat for your viewers.
And that is fucking disgusting as hell. Like, that is like your cat takes a shit in its litter box and you take a picture of it and post it to Snapchat every single fucking time. That is gross.
Yes, I did put them on Snapchat. So this was during the time where I was like, I cannot believe that people think I am lying about cancer. And it was quite a few people. Like when Nikocado Avocado uploaded that video.
That's your own fucking fault, because you lie. Like, every other word out of your mouth is a lie. You could come up to me and go, the sky is blue and it's bright and sunshiny out today, and I would still have to go outside and double check, because I cannot believe anything that comes out of your mouth, because you have no fucking credibility.
Insinuating that I lied about cancer, like I was being harassed more than ever, and like it made
that doesn't give you the right to just suddenly post a bunch of bloody underwear pictures on the fucking internet. Nobody fucking wants to see that shit.
Mental health so.
I saw you, baby girl. I saw you. Come here. I saw you. I saw you. I was scaring my doggy there for a second. So we gonna give the puppy some lovin's. Some lovin's. the belly rubs while the cat gives me the stink eye. Okay. We calm down with some pet lovin's. Aren't my pets so cute? Fucking love Sin. She is adorables.
Bad. I ended up filming a whole video, like bawling my eyes out. Like I showed my actual medical paperwork, which was really embarrassing.
Which some people were saying that doesn't actually say that you had uterine cancer in the medical paperwork. So I kind of want to go back and like see all that. Yeah. Maybe one day I will do a reaction to that video.
Embarrassing. And in that same...
Struggling to get started on your novel? Meet Squibbler, the AI novel writer that...
like impulsive state of mind, I ended up posting those pictures on Snapchat as a way to be like, I did go through this. This is exactly what
And nobody fucking wants to see that shit on Snapchat.
happened to me. Do I regret doing that? No. But it is very
Because you have no self-awareness.
pathetic that I even had to do that. That it
You didn't have to post pictures of your bloody underwear on Snapchat. You didn't have to do that. You could have actually just posted a picture of your medical shit.
actually got to that level that I had
Just take out most of the stuff. Just have your name up at the top. Take out everything else that would have been like your address, other stuff. And then just have it to where it's like, okay, this is what was wrong. This is what was going on.
to show something so private. It honestly feels demeaning.
Obviously, you didn't give a shit about the fact that you had bloody underwear and that wasn't private to you. If you're sending those pictures to your fucking mother.
And this person right here,
I am sorry, Mama Lynn, that she did that to you. I am so fucking sorry that she did that to you. That is a horrible thing to do to you.
here is like making fun of me because I did that. That's really, really sad.
See, but you have a problem with me making a silly joke using the word bleed?
I see your gray hairs, lady.
They don't have anything to do with each other.
Really, Amber?
Yes, they do. Like, women have been bleeding once a month for thousands of years.
It's all
And a lot of people colloquially, I'm not even gonna bother with that word. A lot of people call it being on the rag.
also come out.
Because back in the day, that was what women used as like pads. They would use rags.
That you ruin people's personal items
Because what?
because of the bleeding.
I never ruined anyone's personal items because of the bleeding. Nothing.
Anything that comes out of your mouth, I'm just going to assume is a lie. So I'm going to assume, and I know when you make assumptions, it makes an ass out of you. I'm okay with that. I am okay with the label of you're an ass because at least I have a nice ass. But I'm just going to assume that yes, you did destroy other people's personal items because everything that you say is a lie.
At all. Zero. Zippo. Nada.
You made your ex drag a mattress in and out of the living room for you to sit on it so you wouldn't make a mess.
That is actually the truth. I would have done it for Beck. When you're in a relationship and you think that you love the person, it's supposed to be a safe, comforting, caring environment. Think for 2 seconds. I'm pretty sure you would have dragged the mattress into the living room as well if you wanted to hang out with your partner and you knew what they were experiencing. I think when people imagine my bleeding, I think they're imagining like Carrie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
We're not imagining Carrie. Like most of the people that follow Gorl World are going to be other women. So we understand what a period is. And we have all experienced them. And some of us have probably experienced very heavy periods. I've experienced a couple heavy periods in my time. So we understand what it looks like. And I'm sure there are a couple guys that have gone into Gorl World, straight guys, more is the ones that I'm talking to right now, who have, I'm just gonna be frank, who have fucked a girl and she started her period during the act and the lights were off and they turn on the lights and it looks like a fucking murder scene. I'm sure there's a couple guys that have experienced that. It happens. It is a natural body function. Nobody is going, oh my God, it had to have been Carrie stuff. No. Women have been experiencing this. We have a general idea of what it probably looked like. Especially when, like, a girl gets her first period. Yeah.
Movie, it wasn't like that until I was rushed to the ER. Then it was very much like that. But on an everyday basis, it wasn't like that. I did not get blood anywhere.
I don't believe you.
So let me keep hearing why you're making fun of my cancer. Let's keep going with your excuse, because still.
The only reason why she keeps trying to drive in, you're just making fun of my cancer, is because she wants people to view her as the victim. This is peak victim Olympics. And if she was half as flexible as she is with trying to make herself out to be a victim, she would be an Olympic gold medalist in gymnastics.
Still, I don't get it.
And did you do anything about that? Did you try and get it looked at for at least 2 years?
Like I said, I went to the ER for it, and I went to the doctor, and they.
Okay, if you go to the ER once or twice, fine, whatever. If it's still going on after the second time you've gone to the ER, just get your ass into a fucking gynecologist, because obviously the ER is misdiagnosing you. It fucking happens. And anybody with 2 brain cells to rub together would have gotten their asses into an actual doctor and not an ER.
They sent me home with a UTI and antibiotics.
No.
And after the second time, you could have just went, okay, I need to go see an actual doctor. You go to an actual doctor. Doctor takes your things. He goes, okay, we need to send you to, I think it's an oncologist or just a gynecologist. I know the oncologist, I believe, is for the cancer, and then gynecologist is the pussy.
Because you thought, well, someone else will clean it up. I don't feel like...
No one cleaned up anything. There was
And you're lying, and you look so fucking smug when you say that, and I just want to slap you.
nothing to clean up.
Going, but somehow that's my fault for using a word, for saying the word bleed.
You are so dense. If you
Bitch, you're fucking dense.
actually think...
Dude, you're so dense. There's not enough room in your skull for a brain larger than a thumbtack.
that I'm upset because you used a word. You're making fun of me. You're making fun of...
At this point, yeah. Yeah, I am making fun of you. I think you're a dumb, fat piece of shit.
an experience that altered my whole life.
If it had altered your whole life, you'd be skinny right now.
Really? And before you fix your
But no, you're still the same sad, lonely, vindictive, narcissistic bitch.
mouth to call me an ableist again
You are.
and try and say
And you're a fat tub of lard.
that your medical issues were due to your size,
They are.
And you could fix that. But you don't because you're lazy.
you sure had no problem getting to Lexington 20.
What? During that era of my life, I went to Lexington maybe once. I'm finding it hard to understand.
In the comments, someone who is like super more into Gorl World than I am, could you like do a tally of how many times she went to get Cheesecake Factory in Lexington, please?
Like, what that has to do with you making fun of my cancer.
She's not making fun of your cancer. She's making fun of the fact that you were so lazy that you chose to free bleed all over the place because other people would clean up after you because you were nothing more than a child.
Like, you're reaching so far that I am in fear you're going to pull a muscle.
Look who's talking.
So calm down, please.
7 times to go to the Cheesecake Factory. So how is there a problem getting to the doctor? Maybe if the gynecologist would have served orange chicken, you would have gotten checked out sooner. But
Love you, Salty. That was a good one.
There it is. You're ableist, girl. Just admit it. You're fat phobic. You're biased. You lack...
Okay, the whole fat phobic word. I'm just gonna point this out. The entire population should be fat phobic. We should all be phobic of becoming this. We should all be phobic of becoming this. And the ableist thing, yeah, no, she's not being ableist. She's pointing out your laziness. There's a fucking difference.
Empathy and sympathy.
How would you know she lacks them when you don't even know what they are? Because you lack them.
And you can't admit when you're wrong.
You can't admit when you're wrong.
That's all you're getting from me, Amber. Now.
Rules for me, but not for thee.
That's the rules that you live by.
And this month's Kit Kat flavor is Daifuku.
Ooh, Kit Kats.
It literally tastes like a crunchy
I love
chocolatey
his
Daifuku.
videos.
Next,
They're
the
freaking
Tokyo
awesome.
Treat Box.
Okay, that was it. That was fun, I think. I might have gotten a little angry there at the end. Let's get into the comment section. Let's see how many people actually support her in her top comments. Those messages to Destiny were wild, girl. You hoped a baby wouldn't be born so you could get groceries. Yeah, that's fucked up. Thanks for clearing that up. So you washed your blood rags. Beck washed your scat rags. Got it. Maybe the gynecologist would have served orange if the gynecologist would have served orange chicken, you would have gotten checked out sooner. Ooh, she got you good. Using a mattress as a maxi pad. That is hectic. You proving Salty Crab's point over and over again. Absolute cinema. Not the crash out over Salty Crab. No amount of I just took a shower is gonna convince me you did. Changed my whole life. Literally changed nothing about her life. With all this energy, Ambie, you could have lost 30 pounds this month. Remember when you recorded TikToks in the car whilst Becky picked out a headstone? You are rotten. They aren't making fun of your cancer. They are pointing out the fact that you free bled all over your roommate's furniture. That's not a symptom of cancer. That's a choice. She has the most smug face I've ever seen, supposedly. Salty 2, Amber 0. You blamed Beck for your cancer. LOL, someone as mad Salty Krabby is getting 100k views in one day. Eric's voice, no one cares. How can someone over 500 pounds act so much better than everyone else? Big Lass needs a major reality check. So it was embarrassing for your ex to clean up your blood, but not your shit? The self-projection goes so hard. You lack empathy, sympathy, and you can't admit when you're wrong. The sheer desperation to keep your narrative is just a straight-up clown circus at this point. Smuggling gotta be the worstlin'. She doesn't show her face because she's too scared. Girl, be serious. That break lasted so long. She's always insufferable, but I think this might be one of the worst for me. Whoa, she's extra smug in this one. Condensing Dean Lin is one of the worst. No, girl, she read you down. Nothing is normal about bleeding for 2 years straight. And I bet those doctors you say you saw told you to see a gynecologist. We are not stupid, Amber. And if you were getting a UTI all the time, was due to the fact that you were not cleaning and wiping yourself properly. That's true. I will say I have never actually had a UTI. The time when I thought I had one, it was something completely different. Being this smug at 600 pounds is insanity! Pointing out that someone is manic doesn't equate to shaming. Girl, you're complaining about Salty Crab mental health shaming when you did the same thing to Zachary Michael not long ago. You're such a hypocrite. You're so insecure, Amber. This was really hard to listen to without laughing. It was the worst experience of your life, yet being diagnosed with cancer wasn't your rock bottom. Okay, girl, keep shoveling it in. Amber proving Salty Crab's point was not on my bingo card. I never ruined for anyone's personal stuff with my bleeding. No, she only ruined people's personal stuff with her shit. I love when she says, I wasn't going to do this. Yes, you were. She really thought she did something here. Her saying you're not perfect is Salty Crab, but normal people are not abusive to all their past partners or neglectful of their pets. Hi, Bubby. Which reminds me, there's a kitty that wants up in my lap. Come here. Come here. I got the kitty. You guys can't hear him purring. Now I got another cat wanting in my lap. Ow! Stop it. Ow! Okay, my cats have been amused. So traumatized by your cancer, yet you've done nothing to prevent it returning. Your cancer's at higher chance of returning due to your size, and before you say no, not fat phobic, just the truth. Someone simply saying, I think she was manic is not mental health shaming. It's a simple statement. And quit acting like BPD is just a pass to act however you want. You're responsible for your behavior, period. If you are embarrassed of your behavior, seek help and change. BPD isn't an excuse for life to behave however you want. I really like this one because this is also how I feel about women who act like total bitches to people. Get that a little higher so you guys can see it. Total bitches to people and then go, well, I'm on my period. No, you just a bitch. Okay, so I think we're done with this for today. I have been rambling on for almost an hour now. My throat kind of hurts. I might stream some more Shadows on Sunday. I am off that day. I might do it. I might not. The game was honestly boring as fuck. And it is quite amusing that Japan, like the Japanese government is going after Ubisoft. But if you liked the video, like. If you disliked it, dislike. Definitely leave a comment. If you hated the video, tell me why you hated it. If you loved the video, tell me why you loved it. And definitely go check out my books on Amazon. I will leave a link in the description below. And thank you so much if you made it here. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.